There's an old saying, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. Well, it's just like a better life. Everybody want a better life, but nobody's willing to put the work in for a better life. Now, I'm not going to excuse the fact that there are some things that you've had to deal with in your life that you didn't ask for. You didn't ask for the life that you were given at birth. You didn't ask to be put through all the hell that you were put through as a child. You didn't ask for a certain lifestyle and a quality of life, or the lack thereof in the quality of life, based on your parents or grandparents or next of kin or guardians. However, that was the life somebody chose for you. This is the life you choose for you. And so today in this video, I want to share with you 3 things that you need to get if you want to have a better life. Point blank, period. Listen, you're listening to someone who grew up in poverty. Both of my parents were drug addicts. They were addicted to cocaine in the 70s and in the early 80s. They transitioned into freebasing, which subsequently became crack, and they were crack addicts up until a year before they died. My mom, she died in 2006 at 54 years old. I had to bury her, my family and I. And my father, he died in 2010 at 73 years old. We buried him. I preached his eulogy. I was just too broken to preach my mama's eulogy, even though the back end of the service, I was able to give a 10 to 15 minute sermonette, but I was very broken, crushed. I loved my parents. I knew their struggle, and the life that I was given was based on 2 parents who were addicted to drugs that gave me over to my mom's mom, which was a white German Jewish woman. I'm biracial. So I wasn't asked for that life. I was given that life. But by the time I was 12 years old, I had already been experimenting with drugs. I was already selling drugs. We're talking about around 1988, 89. I was around 12 years old, and I was already smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, sneaking into clubs. I was already jumping out of my window. My grandma didn't even know I wasn't at home. I was already selling crack cocaine at 12 years old. That was a life that was given to me, or that was engineered by my surroundings that I subsequently lived. And all of my teenage years, I lived as a drug addicted criminal up until 2 months shy of my 21st birthday, which was on Saturday, October the 11th, 1997. I had this supernatural experience with Jesus Christ. I got saved in a trap house. And for the last 28 years, I've been on that journey. But for the last 28 years, I've had to make a decision to have a better life. And these are the 3 things I needed, and these are the 3 things you need. What are those 3 things? Number 1, you need to get, please don't miss what I'm about to say. You need to get committed. Now, we use the word commitment too loosely in today's world, because if I'm going to get committed, I've got to have something and somewhere and someone to get committed to. Are you hearing me? So let's go back to the phrase person, place, thing. Person, place, thing. So in order for me to get committed, I have to have a person to get committed to. I have to have a place to get committed to, and I have to have a thing to get committed to. Do not try to get committed without those 3 things. Now, why do I need a person? Because I need someone other than myself to be committed to. For me, I'm committed to Jesus Christ. That's the first person. Secondly, watch this. I'm committed to me, because my dreams are my dreams. So I'm committed to Jesus Christ, God. I'm committed to myself, but sometimes that's not enough. I don't care what nobody tell you. I know a whole lot of people who love God, who are Christians, who serve Christ. They go to church. They do all the right things, and they still lack commitment. So does that mean it's an indictment against God? No. It just means that sometimes in our humanity, God don't seem to be enough of an incentive for us to naturally stay committed, because we know God gonna forgive us. We know he'll get over it. We know he know our heart. So all those things we use as lame excuses as humans to get us out of our God commitment. So you need a person, place, or thing to get committed to. Number one, mine is God. Number two, me. I got to be committed to me. The Bible says you got to love your neighbor as yourself. So I can't be committed to me, love me, and I can't get committed to me, love me, and not at some point extend that to other people. But I cannot extend that to someone else, and I haven't extended to myself. For me, number three is my wife, my children, my immediate family, and then it goes to my staff, my church members, my community at large, and the community as a whole, the world, okay? But I've got to have someone to get committed to, especially outside of me, because when you've been through some of the stuff like I've been through, what happens is you build this muscle to be able to tolerate more than what you should when it's just you. In other words, you might be okay sleeping, on a cot, on a little mat, on a blow-up bed. You might be okay eating oodles and noodles every day. You might be okay just catching rides or riding a bicycle to work. But if you got a spouse and a family and people that need you, they might not be okay with that. So it motivates you, it encourages you, it challenges you to get committed to something more. So someone, then you need a place to get committed to. You need to have a future place that you want to be. There needs to be some place you're committed to, especially if you live in an environment that is not conducive to your future. Most people never leave their surroundings. Most people don't even leave within the context of their city and their county. There are studies that show 88% of people stay in or near their hometown that they were born and raised. You need a new place to get committed to. And then you need something to get committed to. It may be a certain dollar amount, a certain status. It may be a certain lifestyle that you want to live. If you want to have a better life, you got to get committed. You need to get committed to a person or people, places, and things. Number one. Number two, you need to get knowledge. Now, let me explain something to you. Just because you watching me on YouTube don't mean you getting all the knowledge you need. You might be getting some entertainment. You might be getting a little education. You might be getting information, but you got to bundle those things together to get the knowledge, the know-how. I got to know how to do what I need to do, okay? Because if you have a commitment, your commitment demands the know-how. So if you're committed to catch a fish and I take you to the water and we've got nets and fishing poles and hooks and we got bait, we got all this stuff out here, and you committed to catch a fish, but you don't know how to fish, your commitment means nothing until you know how to fish. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to get knowledge. Whatever the things you're committed to, whatever the places you're committed to, whatever the people you're committed to, what knowledge do you need to make good on that commitment? You might need more knowledge in your profession, more knowledge about self, more knowledge about God, more knowledge about marriage, more knowledge about being a parent, more knowledge about finances, more knowledge about investing. Whatever that knowledge is that you need in those areas, if you're going to make good on your commitment, you need the knowledge, okay? So you need to get knowledge. And number three, you need to get motivated. Again, this is another word that I think is watered down because everybody's a motivator today. Everybody's a motivational speaker today. All the videos with the nice music behind it, as background music, is motivational. But guess what? My motivation needs to be tied to my knowledge, which is tied to my commitment. When, I'm not going to say if, when you get committed to the right people, the right places, and the right things, when you convert or connect that commitment into knowledge, the know-how, so that you can make good to the people, places, the things that you're committed to, then when you convert or connect that committed knowledge to motivation, you are off to the races. You need to get motivated. Now, how do you get motivated? Well, getting motivated doesn't always happen because you are self-motivated. A lot of times getting motivated means that you've got to get in a community. You got to get in the room. You got to get connected to people who have the capacity and the bandwidth and the voice and the sound and the strength and the stamina and the wherewithal to push you and to infuse in you what you need in order to succeed so you can make good on your commitments. So that means you might need a coach. All of the great players on the planet, all of the great athletes on the planet, whichever one you name, they all had what? They all had coaches. They all had people who made sure that they stayed committed, that they kept themselves knowledgeable to learn the game, to stay updated on the game, and so that they could be motivated. There are a lot of professional players today and athletes and teams that these athletes and players play on that hire coaches, people to come in to do what? Not necessarily to commit them. They're already committed. Not necessarily to give them knowledge on how to play the game, as much as they're coming in to motivate them, to inspire them, to remind them that this is what God has called you to do. This is who you were born to be. This is what you were built for. And despite the fact that you are going through trials and tribulations today, does not mean you ain't gonna come out those trials and tribulations tomorrow. So it ain't time to give up. It ain't time to gas out. It ain't time to throw in the towel. We ain't gonna faint and fold. We're not gonna act like it's over. We're gonna act like it's on, and we're gonna take our commitment to the people, places, and things that we need to make good on, and we're gonna connect it to knowledge. We're going to learn. We're going to become better versions of ourselves in all areas. And we're going to surround ourselves with people who can motivate us, inspire us, encourage us, and give us the strength and the stamina and the reinforcement and the support that we need so that we can succeed in the things we have committed to achieve.